Want to run it 2 in one night?
Yeah. What's the one?
What's up? You want to run it 2 in one night?
Right in front.
You want to
Good.
run it 2 in one night?
Absolutely.
So let's make it happen.
Let's do it.
Let's make it happen.
Let's make it happen.
Yes, sir.
Get the paperwork for this bomb.
Get Al Hammond.
Absolutely. I don't need Al Hammond.
Let me call Al Hammond.
I'm my own boss. I'm my own
2 in
boss.
one night. Got your hat.
At the latest press conference in Las Vegas for Jake Paul's upcoming fight with Gervonta "Tank" Davis, the event took a wild turn when Floyd Mayweather unexpectedly walked in, grabbed the microphones, and accused Jake Paul of fixing fights, one of the most serious claims you can make in boxing. Moments before the outburst, Davis had been calmly explaining how focused and grounded he felt as he prepared for the biggest fight of his career.
My headspace that I'm in now is way better than what I was before, and that's the only thing that mattered to me.
He said his mindset is stronger than ever, and that's what matters most. Now you've got 3 major names: Jake Paul, Floyd Mayweather, and Gervonta Davis suddenly pulled into a mix of tension, ego, and unexpected drama. And to make things even bigger, stars like Manny Pacquiao, Terrence Crawford, and Shakur Stevenson have all jumped in with their own opinions on who they think will come out on top.
But Jake Paul, I mean, as of right now, for what he's doing, it's good for what he's doing. But once he fights a real fighter, it's going to be bad.
Have you been impressed?
But one thing I like about him, one thing I do like about him, he's selling it. He's selling it, and he's making good money, and he's entertaining. I like it.
Let's go back to where the chaos actually started, a press conference that quickly turned into a full-blown spectacle. The Las Vegas media event was supposed to be simple, with Jake Paul and Gervonta Davis talking about their training, game plans, and mindset. Everything was calm until Floyd Mayweather suddenly walked in without being invited. Cameras started flashing, the crowd went crazy, and for a moment no one knew if it was planned or a real disruption. But the second Floyd took the mic, it was obvious this wasn't a stunt. He accused Jake Paul of adding hidden clauses to his fight contracts and hinted that some of Jake's opponents were being paid to lose.
Everybody should be treated fair, and everybody should be on the even playing field. So I flew to Mexico to meet with the WBC, to meet with different referees, different officials, so fighters can be treated fair.
His claim that most of them agree to lose for a good contract sent shockwaves through the room, instantly turning the press conference into chaos as the crowd split between boos and cheers. Floyd didn't stop there. He went after Jake's drug testing, implying the YouTuber-turned-boxer wasn't competing clean, which made the entire room lean in with disbelief. While Jake and Floyd fired shots at each other, Gervonta Davis stayed seated, calm and unfazed, clearly wanting nothing to do with the drama. His focus wasn't on the noise around him, it was on the fight itself.
All right, Tank, you're giving up 40 pounds, 50 pounds to Jake. Considering he's much bigger, is this one of the biggest challenges of your career? Do you feel?
I can't say right now. I ain't been in the ring with him.
He watched Floyd, his former mentor, pull all the attention toward himself, but instead of responding, Tank stayed quiet, and that silence spoke louder than anything. While Mayweather tried to tear Jake down, Tank was focused on building his own legacy, separate from the man who once said he made him. While the headlines were blowing up over Mayweather's accusations, Gervonta Davis calmly reminded everyone why he remains one of the most dangerous fighters in the sport. Speaking softly but with total confidence, he said his mindset is stronger than ever and that all he needs to do is adjust to Jake's size, power, and style. It was the steady voice of someone who's already fought through pressure and come out stronger.
My headspace that I'm in now is way better than what I was before, and that's the only thing that mattered to me.
Davis, undefeated at 30-0 with 28 knockouts, isn't just a top fighter, he's someone who's battled through boxing politics, pressure, and personal challenges to stay on top. Across from him, Jake Paul, Usually the most confident entertainer in the room, surprised everyone by admitting to TMZ that he's more scared for this fight than any he's had before, a rare moment that showed even the loudest personalities can feel real doubt.
Actually, internally, like, I'm the most scared going into a fight that I've actually ever been, because I know how good these people are that I'm sparring, and being able to see how good they are and knowing how good Tank is. It's actually going to be my toughest test to date.
Still, both fighters share one thing: confidence in what they do best. Davis relies on timing and accuracy, while Paul leans on raw power. And in that press room, both knew that respect doesn't equal mercy. As the tension rose, some of boxing's biggest stars began choosing sides.
See Jake Paul winning a fight against Tank?
No.
No way.
Nope.
Not a lot of people have talked about Jake and said he's got good power. Not even and I get anything could technically happen, but you don't even see a realistic shot where he could land one big punch, and Tank being so much smaller, he just can't handle the power.
Nah, not at all. I think Tank is he's been boxing his whole life. Been boxing since a kid, so I doubt like that's gonna be an issue or a problem. I think Jake is good for where he's at, but I think it's just levels.
Shakur Stevenson, celebrated for his sharp boxing mind, threw his support behind Davis, saying if he were in Tank's shoes, he'd focus on outboxing his opponent, using strategy and intelligence to make the fight look simple.
I don't know what's going to happen with a 135-pounder going up against a 200-pounder. I think it's not a real fight. Jake just too big. Tank ain't gonna be able to get in from that jab. Jake land one good punch on Tank, it's over with.
But Terrence Crawford, the pound-for-pound king, had a different take. On the Full Send podcast, he warned Jake's too big for Tank. He's not as slow as people think, and if that right hand lands, it's over. Two top fighters, two completely opposite predictions, making this matchup wildly unpredictable. On one side, Davis, the knockout artist who's beaten veterans bigger than him. On the other, Jake Paul, the giant disruptor who keeps defying expectations and the boxing world that once doubted him. Every perspective only adds fuel to the storm heading into fight night. Interview 11. Here's where things get more complicated. Floyd Mayweather's outburst wasn't only aimed at Jake Paul, it also tied into his own reputation, which has faced scrutiny for years. The man who built a career on money Mayweather. Here's where things get more complicated. Floyd Mayweather's outburst wasn't only aimed at Jake Paul, it also tied into his own reputation, which has faced scrutiny for years. The man who built a career on money Mayweather, is now dealing with rumors of unpaid debts, lawsuits, and tax troubles, all sparked by Logan Paul's claim that he was never fully paid for their 2021 exhibition fight.
How you feel about someone making those type of accusations?
That comes with the territory.
Right.
And you got to realize, when you used to getting, to them, that's real money. And I like YouTube because I don't mind getting a YouTube check.
Shit, we getting a YouTube check.
Right.
This is going to be a big YouTube check.
Yeah, so, the money is not coming fast enough. That's why when they say money on the back end, as far as pay-per-view, it take a while.
Floyd denied the claims, explaining that payments can take time because of pay-per-view back-end deals. But as the story developed, new reports emerged, suggesting he owed millions in unpaid taxes and was still being pursued by the IRS. Even former champion Tim Bradley commented, saying Mayweather never seemed to plan for retirement, always acting like the money would keep flowing endlessly.
And he shouldn't trip. If he feel like he done great numbers and we done record-breaking numbers, then I understand. Nothing comes right away. Just like I'm still collecting checks from fights 7 or 8 years ago. I'm still collecting checks. Why? Because I made smart moves and I'm my own boss. So they hate when the tables turn. Look how many years they've been owing us money. But we don't never trip. So now when the tables turn, they say, oh, you owe us something. Be happy with the biggest payday you ever got in your life.
So when Floyd stormed into that press conference to call Jake Paul a fraud, it felt like the pot calling the kettle black. And the one person who fully grasped the irony was Gervonta Davis. Years ago, he had been Floyd's golden boy, his chosen protege, his supposed heir. But behind the smiles and handshakes, their relationship was far from perfect.
What came out still on top.
With Floyd? What was the lose-lose situation? What you mean?
Just it was a situation that he put me in to, you know, make me lose. But he thought I was gonna lose. But
You talking about like a boxing match or?
yeah, boxing match.
Ooh, if you don't mind. If you don't want to, it's fine.
Pedraza. Joseph Pedraza, my first world title. I was 16-0. I was 16-0. And
Davis has shared that during his time with Mayweather Promotions, he was underpaid, underpromoted, and tightly controlled, sometimes earning as little as $10,000 per fight despite his growing fame. When he spoke out, he claims Floyd retaliated, keeping him sidelined for months and nearly derailing his career before it could truly take off.
at the time, and I haven't fought in like 7 or 8 months. Around that time, I wasn't making that much money. I probably was making like $10,000 a fight. So 6 months is crazy to not fight, you know. So when they came back and it was like, all right, you gotta fight this fighter, which is Joseph Pedraza. If you don't fight him, you're not fighting. You sitting on the show.
Davis said it himself. He gave me crumbs just enough to keep me coming back. So imagine the tension when that same mentor, the man who once tried to control his career, walks into his biggest press conference and steals the spotlight. It wasn't just drama, it was personal history playing out in public. Floyd returned not to support him, but to remind Davis who used to be in charge. Yet this time, Davis didn't flinch or argue. He simply smiled, adjusted his mic, and said, "The only thing that matters to me is where my headspace is now." That calm, measured response wasn't weakness, it was growth. While Mayweather may have taught him how to fight, Davis is now proving he knows how to stand on his own.
Let's make it $1 million.
Whoa. Let's make it 2. Jake.
Just when it seemed the chaos couldn't escalate further, Jake Paul poured gasoline on the fire. What began as playful banter, a $500,000 side bet he mentioned casually in an interview, quickly escalated. Tank laughed it off at first, but Jake kept teasing, flashing his trademark smirk. Within minutes, the bet doubled to $1 million and then 2.
Get 2.
$1 million total. Yeah. Shake on it.
Jake, $1 million.
2 mil? 2 mil? 2 mil. Let's do it. Right here, 2. 2 mil.
Jake,
2 mil.
Jake.
Easy work, bro.
2 mil? Oh, they're shaking. They're shaking left you.
2 mil.
There we go. Oh my God. Oh my God.
$2 million.
On camera, they sealed it with a handshake, a $2 million winner-takes-all side bet, instantly turning the matchup into one of the priciest bragging rights battles in modern boxing. But the surprises didn't stop there. A week later, reports revealed that one of the 3 judges would be AI-assisted, a first in professional fight history. Developed by a sports analytics firm, the AI system tracks punches, movement, and ring control with algorithmic precision. Supporters call it revolutionary, critics call it risky, and the stakes are huge. If the fight goes to a decision, the AI could be the tiebreaker. For Jake Paul, that could prove he's more than an influencer throwing punches. For Gervonta Davis, it could be disastrous if a machine, not a human, determines the most important fight of his career.
Getting below my knees and a lot of speed. We're sparring.
That's what we need.
We're sparring.
Warm up.
Some 8-year-olds. I got the 8-year-olds in there.
If I find out anything.
Let's be honest. In a sport fueled by instinct, emotion, and raw drama, letting an algorithm decide the outcome feels dangerously risky. But just as the frenzy around Jake Paul and Mayweather reached its peak, a new name emerged, instantly shifting the conversation and changing the tone.
Who else he might fight. Again, their only deal is not done yet, and I spoke to his advisor, Sean Gibbons, who runs Manny Pacquiao's promotional company. He said the 3 names they're looking at are Rolly Romero, Gervonta Davis, and Conor Benn. So Conor Benn obviously is going to be fighting Chris Eubank Jr. in a rematch November 15th.
Manny Pacquiao. Insider Mike Coppinger revealed that Pacquiao's team has 3 fighters in mind for the Filipino legend's return: Rolly Romero, Conor Benn, and Gervonta Tank Davis. If Tank gets past Jake Paul, that's the matchup they want next: Pacquiao versus Davis. It would be a generational clash with massive stakes, legacy for Pacquiao, and for Davis, a chance to prove himself, shut down critics, and step out of Mayweather's shadow. Beating Jake might show he's elite, but defeating Pacquiao would etch his name into boxing history.
On this show last week, Ben told us he's coming back to 47 no matter what.
Yep.
And we have Gervonta Davis, who of course has the exhibition with Jake Paul, also in November. And those are the fights for Manny right now. Whether it's the first fight or the second fight, those are the guys he's looking at.
What I will say though,
when you step back and take it all in, Floyd's explosive accusations, Jake's rare admission of fear, and Tank's quiet confidence, it's clear this fight is bigger than boxing. It's about pride, revenge, and legacy clashing with ego. Mayweather's past, Jake Paul's drive for validation, and Gervonta Davis's fight for respect all collide under the Vegas lights. For Floyd, it's control. For Jake, it's proving he belongs. And for Tank, it's finally stepping out of the shadow of the man who once made him, showing he doesn't need a mentor, promoter, or savior. Dust, gloves, grit, and focus. When the lights go out in Vegas, will Tank's precision silence the doubters, or will Jake Paul shock the world again? For the latest in boxing news, highlights, events, and more, subscribe to Knockout Updates and turn on notifications so you never miss top-quality content. Don't forget to check out our other videos. Until next time, peace.